This episode of Toofty TV is sponsored by topicsdoneToDeath.com. Do you like your content rinsed?
Nope.
Then you're in luck. Hey guys, how's it going? Toofty here. I know, another video about a blinking topic that's been rinsed so hard that my eyes hurt a little bit. I don't know what my eyes have got to do with it. I have a lot of passion about this topic. I have a lot of thoughts on it, so I know it's completely rinsed to death, but on the other hand, I really wanted to share my thoughts with you. So I'm going to try and list every single trick in the Clickbaiter's book. And I'm going to start with what I think is the most annoying at number 1, and then go down to the things that I think are less annoying at the bottom. Obviously, this is just opinion, and that's where I think this is really interesting, because I think different elements of clickbait annoy people differently, if you see what I mean. But first of all, clickbait, I would say, annoys and affects me just as much, if not more, than it annoys and affects you guys. And let me explain why. Look at my lovely videos here. I almost put the same amount of effort into all of them. I mean, that's a bit of a lie. Some of them take a lot more time, but you get what I mean. I put a lot of effort into all of them. I do lots of editing. I make them nice and shiny. So let's just take a quick look at some very recent videos. For example, we have the TF2 class awards ceremony. Now that, I would say I put the maximum amount of effort in, as in like, I spent hours and hours on that, creating the icons, doing some motion graphics, and then putting it all together. And I'm really proud of it and I love it. It got 4,200 views. Lovely, thank you very much. And let's look over here. 4 things I hate about the Pyro update. Don't get me wrong, I put lots of effort into it, but essentially it's me having a little moan, and it's got like 40,000 views. Why? Because of the name. And that annoys me, but it annoys me and it conflicts me, because I don't know what I'm meant to do in this situation. What am I meant to do, guys? On the one hand, I want to kind of maintain my dignity or my integrity. I think that's a better word. And I'm proud that I don't often kind of do that kind of thing. But the problem is, I think I've probably suffered because of that. Whereas if I just named it slightly differently, you see where I'm coming from here. It's really conflicting. You have to remember that views and subscribers inspire content creation. Not just for me, for everyone, I would imagine. So just by adding that clickbait, it kind of makes you create more cool stuff. I think it's a really weird problem that we have in the world, okay? It's not the biggest problem in the world. There's a few others out there that are slightly bigger. Anyway, as promised, here are 10 tools that clickbaiters always use in order of how much they annoy me. For me, the absolute worst kind of clickbait are arrows. Arrows flipping annoy me. Sickest hiding spot ever with an arrow pointing to a bush. The reason arrows annoy me is because it's such a blatant attempt to get you to watch the video. It almost never is remotely useful for that thumbnail. I'm pretty sure none of the arrows in any thumbnail ever in existence has actually helpfully pointed out something in the thumbnail. You know what I mean? So yeah, arrows annoy me, and there's definitely some channels that use them pretty much in every single video. There are channels that I've noticed use them like in every, say, few videos. It's like they almost have a quota of like, I'm only allowed 1 arrow a month. I don't want anyone to get too annoyed, so I'll use every 4 videos, I'll pop an arrow in there. They're just unadulterated, pure, the epitome of clickbait, if you ask me. And they should literally be made illegal on YouTube. Okay, I'm getting a bit over the top here, to be fair. Yeah, so the second one for me is circles. So it kind of fits in the same boat. Circling a man in a bush and saying, you know, sweet, epic hiding spots. They're my worst 2. I don't know why they annoy me so much, they just do. I think it's like I said, they're pure, unadulterated clickbait. Whereas some clickbait is like, you're trying to make the thing sound more exciting, and it's kind of okay. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so number 3 for me is explicit images. A little bit of cleavage, a little bit of nip slip. I think I can say that, that's fine. Maybe a nice shiny Widowmaker arse, that'd be nice. That kind of thing. And the video is like a generic bit of gameplay or something, but they've just whacked a bit of explicit imagery in the thumbnail. That annoys me because it's just, again, very blatant, and it's just like dirty tactics, almost literally. Number 4 for me is irrelevant titles. So a title that's exciting, but the video isn't even about that topic. Maybe the YouTuber says 1 sentence and it kind of relates to that topic, but the rest of the entire video is about something completely different. I think you must know what I mean about that one. So the next few things are things that annoy me slightly less, and it's all about the degree at which you use them, if you see what I mean. So the next one is stupid exaggeration. A little bit of hyperbole is perfectly fine. A little bit of exaggeration is fine, but just ridiculous exaggeration, you know, like the best air shot ever, and then next week it's like The best air shot ever, part 2. What, are you doing the best shot you've ever taken every week? What is this? Again, I like to think I don't go too mental with this, but of course, let me know if you disagree in the comments below. The next one for me is mental punctuation. I indulge in an exclamation mark every now and then, and I pretty much limit myself to 1 exclamation mark, and that's about it. I just feel like a bit of a douchebag if I do any more than that, you know? I have to say, I quite like turning a video title into a question. If you're obviously talking about that topic, it makes for a really interesting, enticing video title, because you want to know the answer, right? An example of this that I've done recently is the new Junkrat OP? I would say that's one of my most clickbaity titles. But like, my Overwatch content doesn't get as many views, so I thought I could just say thoughts on the new Junkrat, but I changed it to that, and I think I probably benefited another like 1,000 views or something just because I made it into a question. I think personally that's kind of fine. You guys know better than me, you know, let me know in the comments below. Capital letters is another one. Now, again, this doesn't bother me when you get like a really important word put in caps. I don't think I've ever done it in my life. As I'm making this, I'm trying to look back through my videos to see if I've done any of this stuff. Oh, there you go. There we go. 10 things I hate about the Pirate Update. See, that was probably my first ever word I put in capitals, and it paid off, you know? Some people, without fail, every single video has like half the title in caps. It kind of loses its effect if you use these things every single time, I think. So number 8 for me was like buzzwords. So for example, OP, buff, nerf, tilt, wreck. All the kind of trendy words in gaming at the moment. Again, if you're talking about a buff, it's fine to use it, but if you're just trying to desperately whack in some of those words by any means possible, I think it can get a bit silly, but not a huge deal. So this is a little bit different. It's not about the thumbnail, it's not about the title, it's about what you decide to make videos on. Controversial topics. I guess like, is Overwatch better than TF2? There's been a lot of videos like that. That's kind of what I mean. I did a video on random crits, right? And if I called it like random crits, why they're good, that would be a really controversial topic, if you see what I mean. I think there is generally certain topics that people are more drawn to and more sensitive. It's a hard one to describe, but I think you guys know what I mean. Actually, the best example of this I can think of is actually my video, the which class takes most skill video. This one went like viral and completely mental, and it's because it's a very controversial topic. And you know, I'm literally talking about that question. I don't think there's much clickbait in the title or in the way I've done the thumbnail, but it's literally just because of that topic which I chose. That means it becomes a kind of a clickbaity example, if you see what I mean. But I think that's kind of cool. That's why I put it at the bottom of my list, because I think it's probably fine. If you really want to talk about a topic, you know, talk about it. And the final one, number 10, is ironically lists. Now, I quite like list videos when they're appropriate. So it helps make the information kind of more digestible and really simple to understand. And like, okay, we're doing a list video. I mean, but they are completely rinsed to death, let's be honest. And if you can any way remotely make a video into a list, then YouTubers love doing that. And I'm a little bit guilty of this one myself, you know, with my 4 things I hate about the Pyro update thing, but it makes it really, I don't know, like I said, it makes it really clear, but I think technically this is still clickbait, to be fair with you, and one I'm a little bit guilty of, but I kind of don't mind so much myself. Anyway, so that was kind of my list. I'd love to know if you guys agree with me. There are 2 things I wanted to say about clickbait before we finish. Firstly is that clickbait, whatever you want to define it as, unfortunately it works. And if I make a video and give it the most clickbaity title, I'm going to get more views. And if I give it a very literal title, I'm going to get less views. And that view figure differs significantly. What's annoying is, from a content creator's perspective, I find, you put a lot of hours into making a video and you really want people to see it. But I genuinely don't want to be an annoying person who uses clickbait. It's a really difficult situation to kind of have yourself in. The nature of the game, if you like, air quotes being used there, encourages content creators to use clickbait. And it's just kind of a shame. It's a shame that some videos get more views and more interest, even if you put a lot less hours into them, and vice versa. The final point I wanted to end on, the only way you can really defeat clickbait or help work against it and help decrease how much you see it being used, is to simply not click on clickbait. And I know that sounds obvious. I mean, it is obvious, but it's something that we all are guilty of. We click on clickbait. if people stopped clicking on clickbait, content creators would stop using clickbait. But it's like a self-feeding reinforcement loop of doom. If you see a bunch of arrows and the title of the video is craziest mega secrets hiding spot you've never ever seen with the best headshots with the naked ladies involved, then try your hardest not to click. It's going to be difficult, especially if there are naked ladies involved, but try your hardest not to click. Another thing that I'm really confused about is saying like and subscribe at the end of your videos. So I don't know if anyone's noticed, but I have never in any of my videos ever said leave a like or subscribe, because I feel like my audience is intelligent enough to figure that out for themselves. But anyway, saying all this, I got this comment recently and it blew my mind. Guys, please let me know. Should I be reminding people to like my videos? Because I bet that works as well. That's another thing that's annoying, right? The same as clickbait. I bet saying like, it kind of subliminally works. Nailed it. If you were to test saying it and not saying it, I bet it would have an effect of some kind. Anyway, especially for this topic, I would love to know what you guys think. Hopefully I'm not a clickbaity channel. I hope you guys agree with me there. Let me know if you think I am. Do you agree with me that some of those items that I talked about are acceptable? Which ones annoy you as much as they annoy me? Do arrows annoy you as much as they annoy me? Always love to hear from you guys. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. This is my attempt to create the absolute perfect clickbait that uses all the tricks in my list. Would you click on this? Oh, I think you would. I would click the crap out of this bad boy. Let's be honest.